Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
Well, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah. I don't know. I normally say good evening. I don't know. Is it a good evening?
Man, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to feel like that right now.
You know, our last episode was, I think I titled the YouTube video or the little thumbnail, Why All the Hate?
Yeah.
Well, hell, now I just, and of course, we were talking about the haters for the farming side of things, but I think there's just a lot of haters. There's just a lot of hate.
Yeah, and I can't even just say in our country. I mean, it's all over the world, but there is. I guess before we had a lot we want to talk about, but first we do need you to do a couple of things. No matter how bad things are with the world, you still can get some great deals on some products, and that is Ag Zaga. You go on there, you can order all kinds of stuff. They got anything you can think of for ag, sprayers, bale net wrap, any of that. That season's kind of coming to an end, but you could always stock up for next year. And if you use the code TALKDIRT20, save yourself $20 off any order, $50 or more. And what do they need to do?
Go to tractormat.com. Use the discount code TALKDIRT. Get you a good tractor mat for your tractor or your combine, as Logan informed us.
Yep.
And what you're getting to use that combine now, aren't you?
I am.
Right in the thick of harvest, or at least in the early stages of harvest. Take 15% off that discount code. Get custom, like precision fit mat for your tractor, your combine, whatever machine you find yourself in these days. Do that.
Do it. Also, guys, we need you to hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. We also ask that you leave us 5-star ratings on Spotify and on Apple. And go to talkdirtpodcast.com, go to the contact page, and you can submit your questions there. We will get to your questions. We got some. We'll see how our time is today. Got a few questions there. But, yeah, guys, go do that. And, man, our last episode, it was really interesting because YouTube is usually like, it's like our, honestly, it's almost like our afterthought in terms of downloads.
Yeah, but we get very little, compared to the audio-only listeners. YouTube is, it's there. We're doing it. I hope some of y'all are watching, because I spend a little time.
I was going to say, Bobby Lee does a great job. It looks great. That's where I'm like, it looks really good.
But yeah, which we want to reach a broader audience. I mean, obviously we do this every week, hoping the show is going to grow by leaps and bounds, and it has been.
Yep.
But yeah, that video, it's not even a week old as we sit here recording. It was only about 5 days old. Whenever I was looking at some comment stuff earlier, we had about 8 times the views we did for the episode that's 2 weeks old. So
yes.
I was like, yeah, it's definitely getting to a broader audience. And there are, just speaking about farming, there are a lot of haters. I mean, they're proving our point from last week.
They have. That's what I commented back to someone. That's what I'd say. I'm like, well, you're proving the point here. I mean,
and I would say 80% of them are simply liberals that hate the fact that farmers voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Like that's
You're probably being a little conservative by saying 80%. But yeah.
I mean, they're just people saying, you got what you voted for. You voted for Trump. I mean, because we talked about how the tariffs, and we knew, and of course I pointed out to them, I was like, look, if you've been listening to us very long, I mean, we predicted, we're like, this trade war is going to be painful.
Yeah. And
we don't know how long it's going to last, but it's probably not going to be quick. Not with China for sure, because they're willing to let their people starve. I mean, literally, it comes down to it. And again, we don't need to rehash that whole video, but
well, it's funny because one of our normal videos, it'll usually get a handful of comments. I mean, sometimes we'll get 10, 12.
Oh yeah.
This one's got like 190 or 200 comments.
Yeah.
And I was responding, and at first I would respond somewhat respectfully, but usually the comments were so damn nasty that I would finally I just took the gloves off a few times. Bobby Lee responded. He was a little more diplomatic in his approach.
Well, I would finally have to quit typing because I'm like, you just need to go back and listen to the episode, or like you clearly didn't watch the whole thing.
But
like,
see, and they didn't, because I was.
It's a long form conversation. That's the great thing about podcasting. Like,
yeah,
you can break down a very nuanced and complicated subject. But
I got tickled because our retention rate, like our watch rate for this one, is like a fraction of what our normal is.
Yeah, people aren't even watching the video, aren't even listening to the discussion. They're just wanting to comment and
they're just talking crap.
Farmer. Yeah.
Yep.
But it was pretty much that, or it was people who, maybe they're not a diehard liberal, but you could almost tell they've got an axe to grind.
Yeah.
With probably a big time farmer
in their
community.
Yep.
That they know that one big time farmer in their community, the BTO, that
he's got 2 lake houses. This is a big, huge ski boat.
He's got the lake house. He lives in the big, fancy house. He drives the brand new Denali Duramax every year, whatever. Which, are those people out there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all know them. And more power to them. Like, I'm not even hating on them. But to act like every farmer that is struggling right now and is going to need help to get through this next maybe even several years, depending on how these things play out, is living that lifestyle is absolutely crazy. It's like the people that think every former professional athlete is just filthy rich.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, like, yeah, Peyton Manning made hundreds of millions and is continuing to do that off endorsements. There's also a whole lot of guys that are the 53rd man on that roster on the practice squad who are making the league minimum that, retire from football at the age of 25 and
works at the hardware store in town.
Yeah, exactly. Like most farmers fit into that latter category.
Oh, I laugh because they're like, "Oh, you got that $1 million equipment," and I'm like, the average age.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, because most of it's not paid for in many cases.
Well,
the fact that they have to have $1 million equipment.
But they say you don't. But they're also not farming. One, most of them are not farming. Right. And 2, the guys that are like, well, you could get by with a 9610. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just going to tell you, like, even me, I work, this year I'm working about 1,300 acres. I would hate to have to limp a 9600 combine across that. Like, and you can't get this through people's heads that are saying this crap online, but it's like, there is a point of diminishing return on old equipment. And the average age, I got to think about this after these comments. The average age of my equipment is about 13 years old. My tractor, and it's an R series, it's 8285R, but it's got a lot of hours on it. And it's a 2012 model, so that's almost 14 years old now.
Oh, yeah.
And my planter, my sprayer, even my combine, everything I got is at minimum 10 years old and most likely more. And then they talk about the pickup truck. All right, my pickup truck, look, I love the way it looks. It's lifted and all that. It's got 206,000 miles on it.
Well, it's 10 years old. I was about to say, how many people that think that, they're picturing you stepping out of a Denali with, that's a year old. And like, no, man, it ain't like that.
No, I just had to spend $1,500 on that truck because my air conditioner, my AC compressor went out.
Yeah.
And like I had a hydro boost on the brakes leaking. So like now, my truck's to the age and mileage to where now it starts kind of little stupid stuff starts happening.
Well, and I mean, there are farmers that, they use their operate loan or whatever to stay in, the latest model pickup and
used to you could do that a little better than now. Now things have gotten so tight that it's like that's a dangerous game. Like,
you don't need to be doing that. Yeah, it might be nice to sit in those air conditioned leather seats and whatever, but that's a depreciable asset. Like you don't necessarily have to have. You need a reliable pickup. I don't know. It was just. Yeah, the people love to hate, which, obviously on a whole another level in terms of what, has gone on here in the country in the last a little over 24 hours. But, and of course today, kind of a somber day anyway.
Yeah, 9/11
on the 24th anniversary. Man, I was got to think. I was like, next year will be the 25th. A quarter century since that happened.
Yeah.
And man, for me, it was. And I know I'm probably older than our average listener, but like, man, it does not seem that long ago. I know.
Well, that's how even for me.
Some of y'all probably weren't even alive then.
Yeah. I was like 11, I think, when it happened, 10 or 11.
Yeah, you'd have been probably 10. Cause
yeah.
I was a freshman in college.
Yeah, see, I can remember. Like, I can remember in the school, we had the little TV, and we were, like, watching it. And then they started, like, escorting us in because there was, like, everybody thought suddenly there was going to be these bomb threats. And they kind of had us shelter in the school. And, like, I can remember. So, yeah, it's crazy.
I remember it was weird, and you couldn't even get near a gas station in Martin, Tennessee.
Really? Because they thought you were going to freaking... Oh, everybody fueling up everything?
Yeah, because like we're not gonna be able to get fuel. I remember like the lines to get into any gas station were like a mile long. Well, it's like right there in the immediate, like 24 hours after it happened.
Yeah. Well, here's where I'm really concerned. Not only the hate on the farmers that's concerning, but the overall hate for our fellow man is what is so concerning to me. And I've told somebody, like, one of the problems that I see used to, and I would say even back like to 9/11, which doesn't seem that long ago to me, but like you go to 9/11 and everybody was able to unite like under the flag. And you used to, at least, man, you could disagree, but at the end of the day, we were all Americans.
Well, and we viewed that as an attack on all of us.
Yeah.
All of us. Didn't matter your religion.
But you could come together.
Extent, I don't know. There was probably a lot of hate towards Muslims, which I don't condone that, but I can understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how I'm already the
anti-Semite. Are you going to be a Muslim hater too?
I guess I'm just an all-around hater. But,
yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, the country was galvanized. I mean, everybody talked about that, and it was true. Like, I remember, like, everybody, especially, we live in kind of a redneck little small town, but everybody had an American flag flying on their vehicle, like on their antenna or what. Like, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the same way in some of the more liberal.
From my understanding, it was like that everywhere.
Yeah.
But now people are ashamed to be an American. People are ashamed of the American flag. And like, that's what I told someone. We've reached a dangerous precedent where, like, there used to, at least all of us could at least unify at the fact that, well, we're all Americans and we can come together on that. And now it's like, well, there's Americans that hate America. Like, they live here, but they hate it. Now, they don't hate it enough to move out of here, but they hate...
Well, they're really ignorant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really all that comes down to. And, with the old Charlie Kirk deal, it's... Of course, I've seen, I'm sure a lot of people have, you've spent any time on social media, some of the wild conspiracies is who is behind it. And I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I would say nothing is off the table. Like, nothing would absolutely shock me.
Yeah.
If it came out, and I don't even know if whatever the official narrative is, if I'll even believe it.
Yeah.
But what is clear is all these people that are, literally dancing on his grave.
I was gonna say celebrating his death.
And man, it's just like, wow.
Man, I thought about.
Well, and I got to thinking, because I was like, that's the first, that's the most significant assassination in the U.S. in nearly 50 years.
I was going to say 44 years or something.
Well,
40?
I think MLK and RFK were both 68, and I think JFK was 63. And obviously, JFK was a president.
Yeah.
And so that you can't get much bigger than that, as far as within the U.S. But like I think the lasting impact from this, and obviously we're in a different day and age with social media, but the fallout or the lasting effect from this, and again, because we don't know who did it and what their intentions were, but all the liberals that are celebrating it, like, thank God he's gone, whatever, all that despicable whatever.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to have the negative effect that they want.
Oh, and that's
like he is going to be remembered. Which, I mean, what's sad is he was only 31 years old, so he had an absolute lifetime ahead of him to continue making a difference. In the ways that he has in the last, 12, 13 years since he really became a public figure.
Yep.
As an adult. But my gosh, literally Air Force Two, with the vice president and the second lady,
he had
escorted the casket.
He had wrote 3 books already. He found a turning point when he was 16 or 18 years old. I mean, the dude was...
Yeah, JFK was 63.
Gotcha.
So that's been 52 years. And then I don't know, MLK was obviously a big one. That was...
Was that 40?
68, so that'd be 40... Hell.
That'd be 47.
Yeah, 47 years ago.
Yeah, so
but, I mean...
in our lifetime, this is the most significant.
By far the most significant assassination. I mean, really, because I was using your... Terminator.
Yeah, I saw you were using ChatGPT.
The other assassinations were that they didn't. And again, in the social media era, everything gets, totally different type of media attention and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
man, it's
I mean, this will be. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, it rocked my world. Which I followed Charlie, and I
thought it was fake.
Yeah. The video, we'll see, I saw the first one when I saw the video of him get shot.
The very first thing I saw, was just that video. Not anybody reporting on or anything. I pulled out my phone, like I do way too many times a day, and opened it up, and I saw a video. I think it was on Twitter. I was like, what? I was like, that's fake,
Yeah.
So damn AI or whatever. But no, it didn't take long. People were sending me stuff, and I was like, oh, shit. This must be real.
Well, that's what it just... I told someone today, I said, it's weird. This is the first, I'm not diminishing any other public figures that have passed away, but I said, this is the first death of a public figure that it bothered me. I've legit been mourning over this guy. Never met him. I don't know him at all. I've never met him before. And actually, we were supposed to have a guest tonight, a really awesome guest, and he was friends with him.
Yeah, that was coming in town. And actually, when this happened, and they had posted something, I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then it wasn't long before you messaged me that said, yeah, they weren't going to be able to.
Yeah, I mean,
to come into town.
Everyone that knew him talked about what a good guy he was, and so I've been trying to think. I'm like, man, why? It's awful. I'm like, yeah, I mean, the dude is young, he's married, he's got 2 little girls. That just rips my heart out. But I'm like, why is this bothering me so bad? Somebody I don't know, and someone told me, they were like, man, because really and truthfully, Charlie. Honestly, he represents us. He was and honestly, he'd be the better. Charlie would be the better version, I feel like, of me in a lot of ways.
Well, a lot of people point that out. He was the nice guy.
Yeah, and that's what I've said.
Of this conservative movement.
Of all the people, he was the nice one. He
would sit down behind a microphone, give you a microphone, and say, "Let's hash this out."
Man, airplane's coming for us. I'm in a flyaway right here.
Okay, so that's not uncommon?
No, it's not uncommon, yeah.
Let's say if this episode never makes it to air,
somebody will find this card, put it out there for our people.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's what I've told someone. I'm like, there are political voices that are actually really abrasive and angry.
Well, all the people that are saying he was that are saying he such hate speech. Did you
no?
He sat there and just talked it out. The exact
truth
thing we need.
Truth to them,
I'm unwilling to do.
Truth to them is hate.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah. But I'm not willing to sit down and debate with the other side like he was.
No, me neither. I mean, we love, and I had somebody today tell me, they were like, even talking about our show here, they're like, there's people that would probably like to see you guys dead. And I said,
hell, we found that out just from the comments on YouTube. Just talking about farmers and subsidies. We got what we deserve.
Yeah.
I hope of course, my point back to them, change the subject a little bit, was you didn't listen to anything we said about how the ripple effect this is going to affect everybody.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we pointed out to some
And they're like, I don't care.
I'm like, I'm not a crop farmer either. Like, I don't really have a dog in this fight, other than as Americans, we all have the Chihuahua in the fight.
Yeah.
We're not the pit bull right there, you know, lock jaws with China right now or whatever. But we're still, there's not gonna be much meat left on that bone for the rest of us. If this doesn't get sorted out on the ag side. But yeah, sorry, we're jumping all around.
Well, no, I mean, but you know, I'll tell you, this was like compounded for me because also, dude, I was bothered by the poor girl that got murdered on the subway.
Yeah.
The video of that, man, I don't remember, her name was like Irina or something. She was Ukrainian.
She's a Ukrainian immigrant. Yeah.
Refugee. She was here legally and was working. Her parents had said she had put out a thing saying how happy she, like, or had told them how happy she was to be in the United States. And I mean, dude, the video, did you watch a video of that?
I never, man, I don't never saw like the full video, but yeah, I mean, you know what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
I hated to.
He just stands up and stabs her.
I mean, he stands up and stabs her, but what it just broke my heart because he stands up and he stabs her, and she's like, you know, she's just sitting there looking on her phone.
It's like she can't even see him, like he's behind her.
Yeah. And like he just stabs her and she like drops her phone. She was just sitting there on her phone like any of us would be doing on the subway. Because there was some people commenting like she should have had some better situational awareness. It's like, bro, anybody would be doing what she was doing. You're on a subway. You ain't thinking about the dude behind you stabbing you in the neck. So she was sitting there on her phone, and he just stabs her. And I mean,
and if she had gotten up and moved because she was scared about a black guy sitting behind her,
it'd have been all over.
She should have been a racist. She was racially profiling.
Yeah.
Like why should she be? You know.
Yeah.
Well, you know that would have been the narrative.
Nobody went to this poor girl, man, for like 2 minutes. Like I watched the full video.
She obviously didn't realize how bad she was injured. I'm sure she was in shock. She's just sitting there, and you're like, oh, she's fine.
Yeah. And then she starts crying. She looks down, and I mean, about that time, then all of a sudden, she just literally just collapses. And I mean, it took 2 full minutes. Like blood, actually, you see blood run down to the door, and somebody finally points over there, and a dude runs over there, and he like tries to. I mean, at that point, she's probably bled a gallon of blood out, and I mean, man, that one bothered me because nobody did anything, and that's kind of my, you know, I've been thinking, because I knew we were going to do this episode tonight, and I'm like, man, there's a lot on my mind. And I've kind of got like I've got a quote I want to share that one of my buddies told me after Charlie's incident, and kind of a call to action, really, because, man, we're just, it's every day, it's something else. It's like, I mean, Charlie was that was like in our face. I mean, we saw it, like you saw this assassination. And I mean, it was literally just because a guy is just speaking the truth. But, you know, we live in a world, there's no doubt about it. I mean, we're both Christians. We know evil is everywhere in the world. I mean, the world is a broken world.
And evil will always exist.
It will.
I mean, ever since Cain killed Abel, like it hasn't stopped and
yep,
not going to stop.
No.
Yeah.
And the thing that evil is going to persist until, yeah, like I say, until the end of time, until we're literally in heaven, and then we won't have to worry about it no more. But we got to have people stand up to evil. I mean, like, that's where I'm like, man, we got to have people stand up to evil. I'm not saying this like, oh, you know, I'm not inciting violence, like go out and do anything. But what I am saying is men especially need to prepare. I mean, you need to be there. Like when I saw that girl on the subway video, I'm watching that and I'm like, why did there was men in the train or on the subway. I'm like, why did a man not stand up? Why did a couple of men not stand up and neutralize the threat and then get to that chick really fast? Like, or while they neutralized her, somebody else run over there and help her. Like, even if you can't save her, like, I wish somebody would have just been there.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think, and my mom always, and dad too, you always impress this upon me, and it's a problem in the house, with parenting. I think ultimately, like, you know, be good parents. One, raise your kids to be decent human beings so they aren't perpetuating this evil.
Yeah.
But also especially if you're raising young men. And my son's only 7. I guess both of ours are. And yeah, I mean, I've even told him, like, hey, if somebody's picking on somebody at school, you're like, you don't do that, and you know, you stand up for them. You know, and at the same time, I do, because I'm not an advocate for bullying, but there's also some of this shit where it's like, all right, if we did have some bullying, maybe we wouldn't have so much bullshit in the world. Like the transgenders and the furries and all this bullshit.
Yeah, they would have been bullied away.
Some stuff like that, right? You if it's something that somebody should be ashamed of, okay, you need to call out bullshit when it's bullshit. But you know, as far as bullying someone because, you know, of a handicap, or
they're overweight, or they have a gap between their teeth, or wear glasses,
or they wear, you know, maybe they're you know, poor, and then, you know, they're wearing, you know, I don't know, shoes that aren't cool, whatever is the thing now. They don't have the Jordans on. Like, no, you stand up and help somebody there. Now, if somebody's acting like a total, you know, just goober head, like, okay, yeah. I mean, and again, that's just social checks and balances. That's not even, I don't even necessarily consider that bullying. No, like, no, if you're going to do something just super weird and socially, what should be socially unacceptable, yeah, you call them out on it, and then they're like, oh shit, I shouldn't.
Maybe I shouldn't do that. It's weird.
Well,
I tell Levi that same thing. I'm like, man, if you see somebody getting bullied, you stand up to the bully. I'm like, I don't care. And I'm like, if you get into a fight and you get in trouble at school, you ain't going to get in trouble at home. I'm like, you're just not going to get in trouble at home if you're defending. But I'm like, but if you ever let me find out that you're the bully, then there's going to be hell to pay. Because, I mean, that's the thing. And I think about, like, because some people were talking about the girl on the subway, and they were like, well, men can't stand up and do anything because look at Daniel Penny, or whatever the guy, Daniel or David Penny, the guy
I think it's Daniel Penny,
you know, he like choked the dude on the train, and he got, I don't know if did the charges get dropped?
Man, I thought they did, but yeah, I mean,
he had to go to court for years. Hell, he thought he was about to go to prison for murder,
and he was locked up for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and for doing the right thing, and so you can't, in my opinion, you can't not do good out of the fear of the consequences. Like, if it came down to, you see this girl get stabbed in the neck, and the guy's right there, and he's got the knife, you just witnessed this go down. I don't think you have the luxury of being like, I probably shouldn't do anything because I don't want to risk getting arrested. In that instance, I think that you have to sound cliche or cheesy, but you got to basically accept the sheepdog call, and you got to freaking neutralize the threat. Because one, you don't know what this guy's going to do. Is he going to attack more people on the subway? And that's why, man, I mean, I don't go anywhere without a gun. I always have a gun on me. And if I don't have a gun, well, I mean, I got a gun, and I usually have 1 or 2 blades on me at all times.
Yep.
And I shoot my guns. Like, that's the thing, man. I've said this before when we've talked about, like, holsters as some of our Made in USA products. Getting a gun and having a gun is not good enough. You need to have a gun, but you need to be able to use a gun and, like, draw that gun and use it proficiently, because, you know, I don't want to have to, in the most adrenaline, high stakes moment of my life, have to just, like, suddenly I've never drawn this gun out. I've never drawn it and shot it like this. I would hate for probably the most adrenaline surging moment of my life to be the moment that I have to do this proficiently to take down a bad guy. And so I do urge you to get a gun and get a weapon, and to be able to use it.
I mean.
And now the girl, Tony, Tony that I had on my old show, he's a special, he is a defense specialist, I guess is basically what I'd say. He's a martial arts expert and tactical expert. Tony that I had on there, I can't remember his last name offhand. He put up a really good post, and it was kind of in response to all the people. Tony Blauer, That's it. The spear system. This dude's a beast. I had him on my old show. He's a savage. Well, he put up a really good post because people were blasting that girl, saying that she needed to have situational awareness. And then other people were saying, well, this is why I carry a gun. And Tony, he put up a long post and he said, none of that's going to help. He said, if I was
she was
there,
attacked without even seeing it. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's what Tony said. Tony was like, I am a very high level, like highly trained guy. And he said, if I was sitting there and that dude did that to me, I'd be dead. He said, because I'm like everybody else. I'm going to sit there on my phone.
And most people have probably seen at least the still images. Like, I mean, it was a total blindside. Most cowardly, not to mention it was a female, a fraction of his size.
Yeah.
But you're right, yeah. And I've thought about that too, because, I mean, I also carry,
Yep.
Vast majority of the time. And like the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, well, obviously it wouldn't help Charlie.
Yeah,
Charlie may have been carrying at the moment.
And he had on a bulletproof vest.
Did he?
Yeah.
Man.
They were saying he had ever since Trump's attempted assassination, I think that they basically made him start wearing a bulletproof vest.
Oh, man.
So he had on a vest. So, yeah, I mean, but you carry, and what you would do, you carry and you be prepared for the case if you are there and you see this happen, you can neutralize the threat. Like, don't wait on somebody else, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, man, the girl, if somebody could have neutralized the threat, if they had been aware of that and seen that happen, which I feel like that'd be hard to miss, but you see that happen, you drop that guy, you would immediately go to that woman. And I mean, maybe, I don't know if you could have saved this chick or not. I mean, that was it looked like a vicious, wound to her neck. But if you could just, stop the bleeding, I don't know,
Well, and we're both civilians, never had any military training.
Yep.
Anything. I think we've both kind of been through some basic training for like church shooting situations.
Yeah.
But very, very basic, like, nothing. But, so I don't know, sometimes I feel almost like, am I the crazy, like lunatic, like gun dude? Because, and I think about it, I mean, I definitely think about it when, unfortunately, I'm in Memphis or somewhere like that. Like, I'm always, and I'm not near as vigilant as I'm sure I should be, and I'm certainly no, ex-special forces guy, but
yeah,
like I try to always kind of keep my head on a swivel. I'm watching, if I got my family with me, when we sit down at a table at a restaurant, I'm mindful of how we sit and
me too.
Where I'm watching. And just because, I mean, I feel like it's a 1 in a million chance something's going to go wrong, but I'm like, could I live with myself if
that's me,
an attack happened and I didn't protect my family or even other innocent people around me?
That's you hit it there too. Like, obviously,
yeah. I mean, if I'm sitting there with a gun inside my waistband and I don't do anything, like,
yeah, if you were on that subway and you're there and you see that guy do this and then you just sit there and you don't do anything and she dies, like, I don't think I could live with that.
Yeah.
I think that would haunt me, because I'd be like, man, why did I not do anything? Like, why did I not even at least go to that woman, try to help her somehow, and or like I said, hell, hold her in her damn dying moments. Like, it's I don't know, man. I mean, guys, we need to. I think it's just a wise decision to be prepared, and also something to draw from Charlie's instance is. I think more than ever, we have to continue to be bold in speaking the truth. And I think that it's because it makes you want to shut up and just to be like, like.
Well, now, did you see what Ben Shapiro posted? They're doing like a campus tour now, like going and because he called out. Somebody said that he was going to cancel. He's like, oh, hell no. He's like, we're
going hard now,
going even harder into it. Like, no. He's like, this is going to have the exact opposite effect. That, again, I don't want to say what the attacker had, because I don't know. Like, I think any and all theories are possible.
Yeah.
But as far as the people that are celebrating and think this is a great thing, he's like, no. We're going to make sure his legacy and his mission
continues.
Hits, overdrive at this point.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I think.
I mean, I pray for his safety. But
I think now you have to.
See, I don't hate the Jews.
That's right. There you go. Ben's a Jew. No, I mean, dude, that's what I think we got to just really, it is a call to be courageous. And I'm not, violence, I don't believe is the first step or the first resort. Like, to me, violence should be the last resort. And that's whenever, like
Charlie was
literally just talking.
Let's just talk this out. That was literally the entire premise of everything that he does.
Yeah. Well, the quote that somebody told me, one of my buddies told me this. It's a great quote, but it said, "May you live so boldly that your enemies celebrate your death."
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a great quote. Like, Charlie, like, all them celebrating his death really shows a victory for Charlie, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, man, you couldn't handle the truth he was saying so bad that you think the only way you could beat him was to kill him. And yeah, now that's really probably just amplified the effect of what he was saying. So, I don't know. I'm heartbroken for his family. And like I said, there's been some things going around, and one of the memes that says we are Charlie. And that's the thing that, like, talking to my wife tonight about, I was like, there are, and I've learned from our YouTube video, from Instagram, like, there's people that they dance on our graves. They would love to see us dead.
Oh, they're trying to figuratively do it.
Yeah.
As farmers are, facing, crisis. Oh, there was no lack of them on the YouTube. So we appreciate them, like we said last week, pumping up those numbers for us, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk a little farming. It's, I don't know, in a way, let's try to. I mean, we had to address that. It's obviously heavy on everybody's mind right now. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And again, we just pray for, all you can do, you can pray for Charlie's family and his friends, and just we'll see how we move forward from here. I think you just continue, like I said, we need to be bold, we need to be brave, courageous, and hold the line.
Yeah, because obviously, like, that's the first, like, major assassination on U.S. soil that I've lived through.
Yeah.
Really,
oh yeah.
As I was, I was using the AI, I was like, what other major ones have there been in the last 50 years? It actually listed, like, Vicky Weaver.
Which one is that?
Randy Weaver's wife.
Ruby
Ridge.
Yeah.
Which obviously that was a
that
different,
one.
Which the conspiracy theorists I will tell you, the government may have been behind this one too, and I ain't even willing to go there.
Me neither.
Not at this point. I'm not taking that off the table by any means, but I don't even.
I do want to add, a lot of the left wing side, that they're mad that if you highlight Charlie, they're all like, well, why aren't you talking about the Minnesota Senators? Why aren't you talking about this and that?
That was a big story.
Yeah.
And the reason that one died from the media is
media.
It was liberal on liberal murder. And again, we don't even know who killed Charlie at this point. Again, I'm not 100% convinced that we ever will for sure, kind of like the whole JFK deal.
Yeah.
Whoever they do pin it on, did they really do it, kind of thing. But anyway, that one, at least as far as we know, feel pretty certain that, and it was literally somebody that had worked for Tim Walz.
Yeah.
That was mad that Democratic state representative, whatever, wasn't liberal enough.
Yeah.
And so, that didn't fit any narrative, and so that's why that one didn't get covered.
Well, and they always talk about you didn't mention school shootings and this and that. And it's like, dude, the school shootings are an absolute nightmare. Like, whenever a school shooting goes on, I can't wait to get home to hug my kids. Like, I do we all think about these. Like, everybody thinks about that.
But this was an assassination of a public figure, like, on live television. Like,
yes.
That's nothing like, a shit we've seen in movies. Like, I was like, I've never, like, this was like, things I would expect to see on TV. Like, and unfortunately we did see it on TV or on our phone.
Yeah.
But, nothing like I've ever really experienced in my life.
No, same. All right, we're going to do a few Q&As. Apologize to our Q&A submitters that they're going to be on such a sad episode. This first one comes from Bryson, and he said, "Gents, how's it going?" See, this will lighten the mood.
We need that.
He says, "Gents, how's it going? Been some time since I've written in. It took me a while to come to grips with Bobby Lee's cross-dressing, Jew-hating ways."
No.
See, now he's a big pro-Jew now. He likes Ben Shapiro.
Now I'm going to piss off all the other people.
Yeah. Your fans that hated Jews are suddenly going to turn on you.
What do they like to call
neo-Nazis?
No. What do they call like the Jewish?
Oh, a Zionist.
Zionist. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they accused Charlie of in many ways.
Yep.
So,
Okay, I thought you were a neo-Nazi.
I mean, I guess it just depends on who's hating on me, what I am.
He says, seriously, though.
I'm like Trump. You can hurl any insult at me.
Yeah.
I'm like Teflon Don. He rolls right off.
Oh, Big Don.
Yeah.
Little Marco. Oh, I still think about that.
Little Marco.
Seriously, though, hope all has been well. Logan, I know the commodity prices have got you depressed, but giving an update on how the crops look, harvesting, farm update in general would be good. For us envious individuals, the updates are good to hear. On the flip side, if prices keep going down, you can really bet the farm and get several hundred head of stockers and turn them out into your crops. Hoping you have a good harvest and prices rebound for you. Also, you keep talking about going old on equipment to save money. Do it. Them old square body case tractors are badass.
Box cars.
I'll address this part, all that first. Far as the update goes, we have been shelling now for several days. I'm helping Dad. And the corn is all over the place. Like some of the corn was shelling 240, and then I shelled a bunch that was shelling.
It's all dryland corn.
All dryland.
Nothing irrigated.
And what I've been shelling today and yesterday was shelling about 48.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it had been like the water had actually got underwater, and it's terrible. Yeah, I mean,
well, that's what I knew. At first, the numbers were looking real good, and like, well, this is probably the best of the corn, so let's withhold judgment before we start breathing too big of a sigh of relief.
Dad said when he planted this, it was wet, and then it rained. He said, and then it literally rained 30 inches on it. So it's man, it's just little bitty ears. I mean, the ears are so small. Like, I'm having to run the header. I have my header almost laying on the ground, and the ears are so tiny that every now and then some of them will just go through the header. Like, they're just so tiny. I'm running my deck plates all the way as close as I can, and I'm still losing corn. And yeah, I mean, but then you get up onto like a little higher ground. Oh man, it'll go up 220. Like, that's what sucks. Like, if conditions had been right, it'd be a 250 bushel corn crop.
Yeah,
like,
and normally that bottom ground will outperform the hill ground.
Yeah, and now this year it's been the total opposite.
Yeah, the hill ground.
So that's the update on harvest. We're gonna move, and we're gonna finish where he's at. We're moving to one more field he's got, and then we're jumping in on mine. And actually, the first field we're jumping in on is one that I had to run them drop nozzles on, so I have no earthly idea what to expect. The corn looks pretty good, but I got no earthly idea. I've got one farm. The corn is about 11 foot tall. It is the tallest corn I've ever seen. I walked out in it, and man, I can't get over how huge that corn is. And let's see. So, giving an update on the crops, harvest, farming update in general. As far as the cattle goes, I was thinking I've thought about it, but the bad thing now is it's so expensive to get in.
Right.
Like I would be sticking my neck out probably just as far on cattle as I am on row cropping.
Cattle market kind of softened a little bit this week early. I think on Tuesday was when it was like limit down.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of rebounded since then. So but yeah, you're right. I mean, I bought a bunch of calves the last month or so, and yeah, I mean, I feel like I bought them at, relatively a decent price. I'm buying higher risk calves. They haven't been weaned, vaccinated, nothing. They're still bulls.
But see, if I said, all right, for me to offset the cost of row cropping, I would need a significant head. Like,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, probably, like, I was thinking this seriously. Because I got some land, I could fence and stuff. I'm like, I could run 100 head of cattle. What would it cost me if I was going to go buy 100 head of cattle like stocker steers?
So if you're buying them, like I've been buying them in the low to mid fours, and again, buying higher risk calves, I've been paying like, you might want to say $1,800 a head.
$1,800 a head, so $180,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's,
and that's to make, like if you make $200 a head when all is said and done, it'd be, I mean you could do better than that. We did better than that on our group we turned in the spring, but
yeah. Dang, $200
a head.
Well, hell, I'd have to have a whole lot more than 100 head.
Yeah, it was at $20,000.
$20,000. Crap.
And then the problem is,
it's because it's so high buying them.
Yeah, and I mean you're going to have, because you're going to need to feed them. Like even if you got cover crop for them to graze,
yeah.
If you really want to put on weight, you're going to be pushing some feed to them, which feed's fairly cheap right now, and you could possibly even get your feed cost cheaper because you got corn, but then you'd have to have a way to store the corn, and then how are you going to feed the corn? You're going to get like you'd have a lot of startup costs.
So basically, to offset my cost, I need 1,000 head of cattle. I need to pretty much become the largest cattle man in West Tennessee overnight to offset my.
Yeah, pretty close. and then that takes an enormous amount of acreage.
Yeah,
and you don't have any fences.
Nope, I'd have to spend that.
Well, I came by. I didn't see anybody but Brock yesterday. I came by when y'all were out there shelling corn, but y'all were back in the back. And,
oh yeah, he said you came by. Did you get some corn? Or no, you brought some. Syringes.
I knew where y'all were shelling corn there. I needed to change batteries in one of my deer cameras. So
Brock was he doing cocaine when you pulled up?
Yeah, that's what he was unloading a grain buggy and snorting him a line.
I knew it.
But he's like, man, I don't even know how we got on the subject. You know, he likes cattle. He's like, man, it wouldn't be nothing to run a little hot wire out here. And he was always like, I'd be willing to do it. And I was like, buddy, I don't have time to do half of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Like I've been so short on sleep the last few weeks. Like hell, I'm gonna be at a ball tournament all weekend this weekend, or all day Saturday. We'll probably get home at 1 a.m. Sunday, and then I'm gonna get up and cut hay on Sunday.
Nice,
because there's no rain in the forecast. But
no.
I was like, he's like, well, he's like, I got a trailer set up where we can haul water to him. I was like, dude, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Like I don't have time to keep up with the ones I'm keeping up with right now.
Yeah. So
and just putting the fence up, like putting up a couple strands of hot wire. Okay, yeah, that's not a monumental undertaking, but if you're going to fence off 200 or 300 acres, and which we've got it in one block on that one farm.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, then you got to get the cover crop up. Like it's dry. I mean, we got an inch of rain last Friday, which I guess that's an update for everybody.
We did get a little rain, yeah.
We got about an inch. You know, would you get about an inch everywhere?
I got between a half inch to an inch just about everywhere.
I got a little over an inch at my house. Got right at an inch.
Dad, I think, said he got about an inch and a half.
But otherwise, like there's zero. Like I don't know that I've ever seen it like this because here in the Southeast we've always got rain chances. It's single digit chances.
Yeah, I saw that like 5%.
Like single. Like we never have single digit chances for multiple days in a row ever. It's always like at least a 15%.
So that means a toad strangler is going to happen one of these days.
No, I've thought about that too. But like, okay, now we're going to get a cover crop planted, which really you need it planted now so you can get.
I know. I got to get it flown on.
I'm like, but it's not even going to rain. So it's if it does like it's done for the last 2 months, it's not going to come up at all.
Yeah.
I love the idea of it.
I love the idea.
If I all of a sudden lost my veterinary license tomorrow and had a lot of extra free time, that'd be something I'd consider doing.
Yeah.
But I don't plan on that happening.
I would realistically need, last year, it's like you take a 1,000-acre operation, they lost $150 an acre, so that's $150,000. So you would literally have to have almost 1,000 head of cattle to make up for that.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee you're going to make money on the cattle.
Yeah.
You would definitely, if you were that heavily invested,
you'd have a lot of insurance and things in place.
You'd have you an LRP for sure.
But that's the thing, like, and that was some of our little idiots on YouTube that were commenting. They're like, well, you should have cattle and this and that. And like, they think it's so easy to just jump into cattle. And it's like, dude, I don't have water. I don't have fencing.
One guy pointed out, it's like, that's why you got insurance. which again, I'm speaking a lot of places, but you don't have insurance against bad prices.
No, there is a degree of insurance for pricing, but it's so minuscule that it doesn't make any difference.
It's like crop insurance basically covers like
yield loss.
Yeah, drought, hail, excessive rainfall. Yeah, something that gives you a terrible crop. Right now, y'all are looking at, even if you make an average crop, which obviously then doesn't pay you anything on insurance.
Yeah,
the prices are so terrible, you're losing money out the ass.
Yeah, it's the prices won't.
An average yield, you are losing your ass. Still.
Yeah, and if the thing with insurance, it's like most guys on average have 70% coverage. 70% of your income is not going to pull you above water.
Yeah, like because the margins are really thin.
Yeah, so I mean that's like, man, yeah, they just don't understand, but they still talk out of their ass. But I don't know. I mean, I would like to get a few head of cattle and do something just to kind of diversify a little bit. But I'm like, it would almost just be like me just having some cattle. This farm I live on right here, this area right here around my house, it's like 24 acres, and I do plan to fence it in, and I want to have cattle right here.
And I would say this to anybody who's wanting to do the stocker cattle route. You don't have to, but man, it is. You stand to make a lot better money if you can run at least enough to put together a full truckload when you sell them.
So 1,000, I'd do all right then.
Oh yeah, you'd have multiple 50,000 pounds on a truckload.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're gonna buy them like I am at 450 pounds, and say I'm gonna sell them at 650, I mean I need.
That's more than I would have
75 head roughly.
Yeah.
Now you could run less, but get them up bigger. I mean, you can buy them. Typically in the spring we buy them closer to like 600 pounds. I don't know. My weaned calves are about that same size, so I thought they'd match up good with them.
Yeah.
That was just what was readily available when I started buying. They're cheaper when you buy them lighter like that too, and I don't know.
It's a hard time to get into it.
Yeah, and you can buy the higher risk calves like I am. I think of the last group I bought, I think 17 of the 18 were pretty much marketed as being all natural.
Yeah.
Like, they were not weaned, not vaccinated, and I've only had them 2 weeks, so it's way too early to say that, hey, I straightened them out. But, so I'm not even going to say, anything.
Yeah.
Jinx myself. But, yeah.
Well,
I'm also from my previous group, because I bought 18, and then turned around and bought 18 more 2 weeks later.
Uh-huh.
I have one that's just gone.
Oh, it just disappeared?
I think...
something kill it?
Yeah, like what were the alien things?
You talking about like the... oh, crap. The skinwalkers.
Well, or what's the things where they like suck all the blood out of them?
The mutilation, cattle mutilations.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, that's what happened.
Have you found a dried cattle corpse?
No, I hadn't found anything. And I keep, because of course I'm doing.
I hope you do, but I hope it's around Halloween. That'll make a great episode.
Well, of course, I've had cows get out. I had one get out this spring.
Yeah.
I have a phone call usually within, because I check them every day. By the time before I can even get, less than 24 hours, I've got a phone call. Hey, there's a cow loose, such area. Is that yours? Sounds like it. Better go check it out. Whether it's one of my immediate neighbors or just somebody in the surrounding area. I was like, I haven't got any phone calls. Like if there's almost impossible for him to have gotten out. Not got a phone call. But I took a horse down there yesterday, rode all over. Like if he was dead, I'd smell him, or should find some. There's thickets and woods all over this property. There's a million places he could be hiding, or if he went off somewhere in a gully and dead. But I rode enough of it that I should have at least been close enough I would have smelled it. Hell, I don't know.
Yeah.
I told myself I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
If you find it and it's been mutilated like that, then we'll just we'll do a live episode at the corpse for like Halloween.
Well, and then I'm like, well, if they get out, somebody call me, and I'm like, well, people might realize how much these cattle are worth nowadays.
Yeah, they might just start. I'm gonna start slipping one cow every few days off of Bobby Lee's herd here.
Then, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I've got a game camera on that farm, not in the pasture they're in, because I don't want to just get pictures of calves all the time. Yeah. But in the next pasture where I suspected that he might have gotten over into there, but I was like, I've got no pictures of him. So if he's wandering around, he hadn't wandered past that tree. But anyway.
There's no telling. Well, this guy said also, talking about it going old on equipment to save money, do it. The old square body case tractors are badass. They are. But I think that I actually ran 3 scenarios. I did this yesterday, thinking about for next year. I'm going to claw and scratch my way to survive through this year if I can, and then keep trucking next year. But I gotta change the strategy because I don't like being in this position. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to run 3 scenarios. One of them is you keep shooting for high yields. I keep the equipment I got because I'll actually have a couple of pieces of equipment paid off going into next year. So I'll be in a little better position. And then I've got some pieces of equipment next year that will be paid off. And I'll really be getting in pretty good shape. But I did 3 scenarios. High yield, keeping the equipment I got. Mediocre, or not mediocre, but go for a strictly, we're going to cut inputs, drop yields, but we're not going to be spending as much. We're still going to try to grow good crops, but not shoot for that top tier yield. And then I did a 3rd scenario where it was the cut inputs and run old equipment, downgrade equipment. And I ran it through. I did these scenarios with the help of my Terminator. And I told it like yield goals and all this. And man, to be honest, the best goal or the best outcome was still shooting for high yields, keeping the equipment that I got.
Well, but I guess that's all depending on if everything works out where you can hit the high yields.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, oh yeah. Obviously, you got to make them, and that's the thing because it has
there's higher risk, higher reward there, I would think.
It is to a degree.
Well, because if you have a year like this year where it's so effing wet, and then it goes from one extreme to the other.
See that?
Because had you shot for that this year, or did you shoot for that this year?
I did. I pretty well shot for it.
But
I won't know yet.
You don't know yet because you hadn't really got into harvest on your crop.
I didn't go I did it smart. Like I told them, I met with my agronomist from Helena, and I told them a number. I don't want to exceed this number on fertilizer, and they got me right under that number. Like we were able to shift and do some things to get it under that number. So I mean, I did, but I put fungicide down. I didn't spare the crops anything.
Well, hell, you might have 100 bushel beans.
You never know, man. You never know. I have spent a lot of nights praying about it being 100 bushel beans or being what I need it to be. But the cheaper equipment, going to that, because honestly, man, I've run the old stuff, and that's where people would comment and be like, man, that 9760 combine that I had, I bought that. It was my first combine. Bought it from an older farmer. He had retired, and it had a bunch of hours on it, but it was just, man, it was my first combine. I thought it was so cool. And he had an old 625 John Deere header. Thing was wore slap out, but he sold it he just threw it in with the combine. I paid like $50,000 or $45,000, financed that for the combine. And the first year that combine was absolutely great. I didn't have any trouble out of that combine. Year number 2, I think I spent $14,000 on that combine. And I was down, I may have run it 3 years. I was down for like 4 days. It broke down on me, and I lost 4 days, and it rained. We were trying to beat a rain. I was trying to finish a farm before it rained, and of course combine breaks down, and it's literally down, and it ended up raining, so I missed 4 days of harvest. Doesn't sound like a lot to people, but during harvest time, every day is precious. Generally, I mean, if you got a year where you're getting rain, it's like, man, we got to get these crops out. But then as I was getting rid of that combine, it started to have a grinding in reverse. And Dad and I were both getting to the point, because I got him to kind of get up in there and hear it. We both were kind of beginning to get a little fearful that might have a transmission or something going out. And I'm like, I damn sure I can't afford to put a transmission in this thing.
I don't even want to know.
I would be scared. I'm just going to guess probably $20,000. I mean, I would have probably spent half of what I paid for the thing in the transmission.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem. Like the old equipment, look, it's cool. You can work on it. I'm going to tell you a couple of problems with this. First off, they end up nickel and diming you to death. And two, I hate working on broke ass shit.
Well, it's one thing to work on, upgrading some stuff during the off season. After you it wasn't a major breakdown. You get in, the off season when y'all aren't doing anything anyway, and you can pull it inside your heated shop and work on it all winter long. It's another thing when your harvest has been hell because it won't stop raining, which again doesn't look like it's going to happen this year. But and you finally got a window to jump out there and get some beans cut, and it breaks down the first pass.
Yep.
And then you're only going to have 2 days to get a good run in before it's going to rain again, and you're down making parts runs and.
Yep. Dad went to Sykeston, Missouri this morning.
That's what my dad was telling me.
Yeah, and that's the thing I tell people, and I don't have new equipment. There's actually, when I was kind of running these scenarios, the window you want to shoot for is 8 to 12 years. That's the age.
Well, and that's what a lot of people, the average person will drive down the road and they'll see like an 8420 out in the field, be like, damn, that's a badass new tractor.
Yeah.
And those tractors are what, 20
something years
25 years old. Yeah.
Well, that's mine. My tractor it's an R series. So it's got
like even me, I look at that and I'm like, that's a brand new tractor.
Yeah. it looks like it. It's got the cool, curved headlights. It's got that aggressive front end. Now they've gone to the newer R, the new R's have a different look, but my tractor looks just like Dad and them's 8345R. But my tractor is a 2012 model.
Yeah, I mean,
it's 13.
The average person that would drive down the road would be like, looking at that rich ass farmer driving.
They would. They'd be like, you got that damn $1 million tractor out there.
But if you told them that, I guarantee you they're not driving a 13-year-old car.
No, actually,
more often than not.
My tractor, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm an open book. That tractor, it's got 6,900 hours on it or something. It's got a pretty good bit of hours on it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of hours. But it
that's not war slap out, but that's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. And see, my 8420, it had 5,400 hours on it, and I had actually had the bottom end of the motor redone, so it was overhauled. But the R series, it has upgraded hydraulic capacity. So I mean, I had talked to a service guy about this tractor. He was like, man, he said, you're making the right move. I was having issues out of my 8420. Again, 20-something-year-old tractor, and it's my only tractor. I need a reliable tractor. And so I buy this one. Well, dude, after I traded in my other tractor, I got this tractor. They were asking $80,000. And I traded in my other tractor. I had a good bit paid down on it. I ended up trading my 8420 and almost just keeping the same note. Because I had so much paid on 8420, and then it was such a low hours machine for the age that I got really good trade in. And so some of these people that are probably talking crap, hell, some of them are probably driving pickup trucks that cost more than my tractor. Yeah. Your truck probably costs more than my tractor. Now, I did learn, I was driving planting and it's shorted out in the cab, so I traded one for another one with probably some I know it has electrical issues, but it's been a great tractor aside from that. But yeah, if the average person would see that tractor and think that it's a new tractor, and it's 13 to 14 years old. So let's see. He's got another part of the question here for Bobby Lee. Oh, well, that's my thing. Look, I do like the old tractors, and I think there's a sweet spot. I think really that 8 to 12 year window is, or even maybe 15 years, 8 to 15 year range is kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because you got to be efficient. These dry years, during harvest, they're a breeze, but we have had years where it's you cannot afford to be broke down. If you're broke down, that's the difference between potentially I mean, what was it, a few years ago, in the month of December, we were still harvesting beans in December, and we ran 3 days in the whole month of December.
Oh yeah, they didn't finish till like 10th of January.
Yeah, I wanted to kill myself. Like, I remember, and people were like, "Man, I bet you've been doing a lot of deer hunting." And I'm like, "No, like, I don't even want to."
I remember we were still trying to duck hunt some around here back then, and your dad was like, "Yeah, I'm not even interested in trying to go."
All we wanted to do was just get the damn crops out. Like, the beans were black. Like, the weather just wrecked them.
Rain and rain and rain. It stopped raining for long enough for y'all to run for like half a day, and then it start raining again.
Yep. Oh, dude, it was so depressing. So, like, when it's that kind of weather, you need equipment that can rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, every hour matters.
Yes. Yeah, so he says here, for Bobby Lee, with the cattle prices just getting stupid and no end in sight, what do you think the catalyst will be for a correction? Border open back up, tariffs with Brazil get resolved, beef demand destruction due to high prices. In a recent episode of the Lonesome Report podcast, they talked about how prices have reached a level that doesn't make sense. Well, you go answer that, and then I'll read the next.
So, the border opening would be bearish, for cattle markets. But that's still not a huge percentage of the cattle that are, end up being fed or grazed in this country. Same with the Brazilian tariffs. I mean, it's still a matter of consumers still want to eat beef, thankfully. I mean, why wouldn't they? And our cow numbers are as low as they've been in like 70 years.
Yeah.
And it's kind of because prices are so high. I'm the same way with me this past year, because normally every year I'll keep some heifers. I had a bunch of weaned heifers, and I was like, well, I'll keep off the best ones. Then I got to looking at what they're worth, and I'm like, no, I won't.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are in that same situation. They're like, I can go ahead and sell these, 600-pound heifers, weaned heifers, and they're worth so much, like it doesn't make sense. Now I've kind of countered that by buying some older cows that were bred, but they're still, when people look at the figures for the number of heifers being fed out, like you haven't seen that drop, indicating that people are retaining heifers.
Yeah. So
I think we're still several years away from the fundamentals really getting back to where our supply, is, we're getting a situation like the crop guys where now we're getting enough supply where it's going to have a negative effect on prices. Of course, probably my biggest fear is just the consumer at the grocery store. It's just like, all right, this is too high. But I'm still, like you talked about that one episode, you bought, even though ground beef is high as it's ever been, you bought 1.5 pounds of ground beef, fed a family of 4 for like 2 days off of it.
Yeah.
When you compare that to like going to Chick-fil-A,
like,
good God. And plus you're eating, Chick-fil-A, that's the Lord's chicken, the nicest people on the planet. They're still serving an inferior protein.
Yeah.
And you're going to spend $60 at Chick-fil-A feeding a family of 4. Fast food. Like
anywhere.
I'm amazed when we go. Hell, my son, I told you last week, whenever he had his concussion, he wanted a Wingstop. Hell, we just ordered wings, like no drinks, just wings to go, like in a little basket of fries. It's like $50.
How many wings you get?
I don't even remember. It was enough that my family of 4 ate on it, but.
You ever get wing basket in Covington? I know you weren't on that end, but you ever?
Man, I'm never up there like that time of day.
It is worth the trip.
We're always practicing ball or coming home from the hospital from the south, and so we're coming through there, and I'm shouldn't be promoting chicken or anything, but
we got some chicken
we
farmers.
Love our chicken farmers.
I was we got some
like, I heard they got a bad health score or something. I was like, all I know is I went online on the app, ordered it, and when it said it would be ready, actually we were coming home from the hospital. Literally, as I opened the door to walk in, there was like 3 other people waiting. The lady walked out of the kitchen with a sack full of wings, said, "Order for Bobby." Like I was in the store like less than 20 seconds.
So those people were cussing you that were in there.
I'd already paid for it and everything. I already left a tip. I was like, she's like, "Check your order." I was like, okay, I'm not going to literally count every wing.
Yeah.
Like, we're good.
I've never got,
shout out to what did I say, Wingstop?
Wingstop, yeah.
Anyway. But, I don't, of course, there's always the black swan events where something stupid happens, and markets just crash. If screwworm ever shows up, that'll be bearish, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because it's no, risk to the person eating the meat.
Yeah.
But just the scare tactics and the meat packers will use that to tank the prices. But I think that will be pretty short-lived because then people are going to pretty much quickly get over this hysteria and say, well, okay, I can catch screwworm from the fly.
Yeah.
I can't catch screwworm from eating an animal that might have had screwworm, when in reality, an animal that has screwworm probably isn't making it to slaughter anyway.
Yeah.
Not with an active, infection anyway. But even if they did, again, that it's not in the meat.
Yeah. Well, he also asked for your feeding program, so I'll send you his email.
Okay.
He said, can you get your feeding program for finishing the stockers and your vaccine treatment protocol for when you get new stockers in? Is it the same for replacement cows you get in besides the Ralgro?
So, yeah, on my weaned calves, like when I wean calves, I'm going to be getting ready to wean my springborn calves here. Yeah, my vaccines are the same. I'm doing a Clostridial, my black leg, which I do because we cut our bulls, or even if you're banding your bulls. If you got bulls, they're going to make into steers. You want some with tetanus, so we like the Covaxin 8. Any modified live respiratory, they like from, have Pastorella and Mannheimia. I'm using, if you watch my YouTube, you've seen it, but I'm using the Bovolus Nasogen 3 PMH right now, which is intranasal vaccine. I'll vaccinate my calves at home, which ideally I'd vaccinate them before I wean them. I don't know. Logistically, I'll do it exactly the way I should. But yeah, it's the same as the calves that I buy. Those two vaccines, repeat them in like 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay. Here you go.
Get 2 rounds in them.
And then he said, besides Griggs, what other ag YouTube or podcast do you recommend? Mine are really specific. They're very specific to row crop. So, you may not be interested in them. Extreme Ag is one that I listen to. I think they're pretty fascinating. They do a lot of cool stuff. And then I haven't listened to this one a ton lately, but Grain Markets and Other Stuff. It's a great podcast if you want to understand the nuts and bolts of the marketing side of things. They're actually out of Nashville. I really would like to get Joe off of it on here. But honestly, I haven't listened to it a lot lately because the markets are so shitty that I just don't even care to listen. And it's nothing on them. Their show is great. They do a great job. They're short episodes. Extreme Ag is really cool. And I'm trying to look and see what others that I like consistent. To be honest with you, I listen to a lot of weird podcasts. Like Mr. Ballin is my favorite podcast. And he does like strange, dark, and mysterious podcast.
So, was he asking for a podcast or YouTube?
Both. I don't watch a lot of. I honestly don't watch. I don't watch any ag YouTube. I watch Bobby Lee's from time to time, and that's about it.
I don't watch much this time of year because I'm not in the house enough.
Yeah.
Once time changes and all. But yeah, I definitely watch Matt and Kelly, the Greek Farms. Our Louisiana Life, I've gotten to know Trey pretty good. He's a character. He's kind of funny. You'll get a kick out of him. Sunny Farms, which they've blown up. They've gotten, from when I think when I first started watching them, their channel was about the size that mine is now.
Yeah.
And they're now at like 400,000 followers. And I just, because they're in South Dakota, in which they're big crop farmers. And big Angus guys, and of course it's so different in that part of the country.
Yeah.
And they're just pretty big. Podcast. One of the previous guys mentioned Lonesome Lands. Was it him? No, he was the one that mentioned Lonesome Lands. Yeah, definitely Lonesome Lands with Shad and Jim. Shark Farmer.
Yep.
Listen to a little bit of Discover Ag. Discover Ag, their kind of target audience is more
women.
Yeah, it's like, I kind of think of it as being like the soccer mom. Their kind of slogan is where pop culture meets agriculture.
Yeah.
But they're entertaining. Tara and Natalie.
Yep.
I'm trying to think who else do I do. Of course, Feeder Flash, which I watch it through YouTube. I don't know if you consider that more of YouTube, more of a podcast, or I listen to it usually when I'm driving to feed cows in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like there's another one. But
the only time I watch
Barn Talk.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've listened to some of
Barn
theirs.
Talk with Torque and Sawyer.
Yeah, they're good.
They're pretty entertaining.
And
they've got YouTube. I watch some of their YouTube, which is This'll Do Farms. They're hog and crop guys. Hogs are kind of their big thing.
Their show is the most similar to ours. They're very unedited, like just that's a father and son. Now they're just where are they? Iowa.
Yeah, southeast Iowa.
But they're like the Iowa of like the talk dirt to me of Iowa. I feel like very much like ours. Now I don't think they go quite as unhinged and off the rails as we do.
I don't know. Like
sometimes they do.
Like Sawyer, he'll to me is like, I got to clean up my language.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't necessarily mean by language, but like I don't know that I've ever heard them talk about Pablo Escobar or Ruby Ridge. Now I'm friends with Torque on Facebook, but he seems really cool. Like I like Barn Talk.
Their language is probably a little harsher than ours.
Yeah, they say the F word more than we do.
Yeah, Sawyer loves the F word.
He does. But that is a good one. I do listen to it. But like I watch YouTube when I eat lunch. Usually when I eat lunch, I'm by myself.
I'm a nerd. I watch a lot of like the weather, like the kind of more in detail.
Yeah, you're a nerd.
Weather stuff. But
I mean, damn Danny Glover over here.
I watch either the Nutrient Ag Forecast or Ryan Hall.
I pulled up my YouTube to see. My YouTube, like when I get in my truck at lunch, I eat in my truck. Like that's my office. And generally, see, here's my, like Mr. Ballin right here. I watch those, or like there's some, right now it's all the freaking breaking news stuff, but scary stories. I like the horror. I'm a horror guy.
Well, and that reminded me, because he talked about, it's getting too expensive to get in, and how they're talking about it on Lonesome Lands, which Shad,
Shadrach and Abednego.
Shad Sullivan, he's one of the co-hosts. All he does is background cattle like that. That's his operation. And I don't know. It's not my business, but I think they're pretty big into it.
Are they CAFOs?
No. They're grazing. They graze a lot of wheat. But if I was guessing, I'm not going to throw numbers out there, but he runs a lot. But, when you're talking about buying these calves that are $2,000 a head, it's like you were just saying, you would need 1,000 head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
That's what is that, $1.8 million?
Well, and really, like me buying those, those are cheap calves I'm buying right now. If you're buying
1,800 is cheap for them, so $2 million.
Yeah, if you're buying $2,000 weaned calves and you need 1,000 of them, for your operation, that's $2 million.
So I'd have to tell my wife, baby, you think that we've been gambling on the row crop side? We got to really
like
go.
You said, like people, the banks won't even lend them enough.
Yeah.
Which I mean, and I'm a tiny compared to that. I remember the first year I did it, I think I borrowed $50,000.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't but a couple of years later, which we were buying them like in COVID, when we were paying less than $1,000 a head for them. Like, I was like, hell, I won't ever need $50,000 to buy calves. And
now you need $150,000.
Well, and this year I spent about $100,000.
Yeah.
And that was because about between a quarter and a third of the ones I was running were homegrown. I didn't even have to buy them. And like, and that was kind of Shad's point. It's like, people aren't going to be able to get the money. Like, the bank is willing to finance them. It's like, yeah, you're making money, let's keep doing this, but they're not going to be willing to extend you that much credit. And that's just buying the calves. You have a lot of other input costs.
Oh, yeah.
They're planting wheat right now. They've got a lot of input in that, and they're taking feed to them too. You got a lot of other operating costs besides just buying that calf.
Yep.
That's going to be a limiting factor for some people.
Well, you talking about that, I just ran some numbers real quick. Here's my thing, like the cattle and the row crop. People are telling like the row crop guys, like, we need to get cattle. Like I said, I would have to get 1,000 head of cattle to make up some of the losses that we've experienced. And there's been people that are like, why would you grow something that you're going to take a loss on? Well, for starters, I don't know that I'm going to take a loss on it. Like, you go into the year optimistic that a trade deal is going to happen. A few years ago, we sold beans at $14 an acre, or $14 a bushel. Right now, beans are like $9 a bushel. at a 45 bushel average, that's $405 an acre. And I just figured up rent, inputs, and equipment costs. I'm figuring roughly totals $500 an acre. So at $9 at 45 bushel yield, I'm losing $95 an acre right now, which is actually pretty good compared to what I am afraid it'll be. But let's say I had $14. Let's say we struck up a trade deal with China or whatever, and we see $14 beans. $14 beans is not crazy, and that is not the highest I've ever seen. $14 beans at 45 bushel acre. 45 bushels is not crazy. That's $130 an acre profit. So that's the thing. Like, these people that are blasting like the row crop guys, like, well, you dummy, you should be. It's like, dude, we're literally just, if we could get a trade deal, we could be in the positive pretty easily. Like, I mean, $130 an acre on a 1,300 acre farming operation is a profit of $169,000. That's pretty darn good. Like, at that kind of money, well, $169,000, I can put some back, and then I can keep some for my cost of living, and I can pay off a couple of things.
Well, and like the average person can look at me like $169,000. I'd like to be making that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, but you make that about 2 out of 5 years.
And what are you spending to make that much?
Okay, let's say the 1,300 acres is all beans. You're spending $650,000 just in inputs. That's not rent. Or that is rent, yeah. So you're spending $650. Now, I didn't add fuel. I didn't add labor.
Well, I was just doing it on, let's say a guy is running 1,000 head of stockers. He spends $2 million buying them.
What's his cost going to be to feed them?
Let's say he spends another $250 a head, which is probably not even, probably going to spend more than that. So you got $2.25 million in expenses. So you make $2,000 a head when all's said and done.
Yeah.
So you made $200,000, which is good. Damn good living.
Yeah.
Really good. But you stuck your neck out there for $2.25 million.
Yeah.
Let's say, and again, hopefully you've got you an LRP, but LRP isn't locked in to make you any money most of the time. It's just so you can break even. You worked your ass off all year not to make any money. You know, China invades Taiwan and global markets, plummet right before you're getting ready to sell yours. You may lose your, you may go from making $200,000 to losing $50,000.
Well, that's what
just in the blink of it. Like it's an enormous amount of risk for not.
Well, it's like Dad
you
shared.
have a good year and you make $200,000. Yeah, I mean it's
like Dad said. They had years that were so bad that they just kept the cows.
Yeah, they kept all their heifers. Yeah,
it was like there's no point in selling them. I think he said they were getting $200 a head.
Yeah,
he said it was so bad. So that's where all of it is. Man, I think.
Well, the easy way, somewhat like you said last week, it's feast or famine.
Yeah.
Like and just a little bit of a difference here or there. 10 more bushel an acre yield.
Oh, it makes a huge ass difference.
Your calves perform just a little better and put on just a little more weight, or you don't. Instead of having 3% death loss, you don't have any death loss.
Yeah.
Which, when you're running 1,000 head,
you're going to have some die.
Right. Hell, I've got one right now this year that at this point, I probably got to consider him a death loss. I have no idea.
How many acres would I need to run 1,000 head of cattle out here? 500? Could you do 1,000 on 500 acres?
No, I don't think so. You're going to, so for me, grazing perennial pastures, we do it. We figure about an acre per animal.
Okay.
But we're rotating pretty aggressively, and we're, which with fescue based, we got rid of them before the fescue hit its slump.
Yeah.
That's why we grazed a group, got rid of them into June, and then let the pastures kind of rest, recover, which we'd had so much rain up to that point. We still had grass. We could have kept them longer this year, but now it's gotten dry, and now here I am buying more. But because I had calves off of it for 2 months, basically, that grass did have a chance. I've got some stockpiled. I don't know. I would have to say, like, if you were grazing like cover crop.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd have to.
Probably still have to have 700 or 800
guys
acres.
out in like the Texas, Oklahoma, Panhandle, Kansas, where they graze out a lot of their wheat, like especially with wheat prices where they are now. But every bit of wheat they're planting is for cattle to graze.
Yeah,
it's not worth anything. Sell the grain. I don't know what stocking rate they use. Obviously it depends on, are they getting good moisture, which out there sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
How aggressively are they fertilizing? But that's a big deal out there. Like they're all planting wheat like crazy right now, and that's what they're saying. I think that they've got like great conditions. They've had more rain here lately than we have.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that stocking rate would be. I would imagine it might be right there around that. You might could stock them denser than 1 head per acre.
Yeah.
It'll depend on what size they are. Obviously, if you're grazing,
but my point,
700 pounders, you can't run as many 700 pounders as you could 400 pounders.
Yeah, but my point is, what farmer has that much acreage to run that much head?
Yeah.
Like to offset the cost,
especially in one block.
Yeah,
because you've got 1,000. But someone's like, well, Logan, you work 1,000 acres.
All right, yeah, I'd have cattle all over the damn world.
Yeah, you'd have 8 here.
Yeah,
80 there.
I
25 here.
I'd never sleep again. I'd be so worried about the cows.
You couldn't. I mean, because you think about it, you're like, well, I could ride around every day. Like, no, you could not. Like,
yeah,
because one spot you'd get to, you'd be like, oh, I got to work on fence here. You'd never get all of them checked in one day.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, I'd have a cow I just couldn't find, and I'd spend a day looking for a cow.
You'd have to have so many hired hands. Yeah, you wouldn't make a dime. Yeah, and that's where, right, in parts of the country where, well, like Brock and I were talking yesterday, because, I mean, out there in that corn is freshly shelled. Like, a lot of people graze corn stalks.
Yeah.
I don't know how much weight. That'd be another good question for a nutritionist. A lot of people, when they'll graze corn stalks, they're just putting cows out there. Mm-hmm. Like, the cow can maintain herself and a pregnancy or whatever eating corn stalks, and a lot of times maybe supplement them with a little bit of feed and protein tubs. I don't know, like, if you just dump some growing calves out there, I don't know that
they would gain.
You're right. Yeah. That they might
survive, but they probably wouldn't be gaining.
Right. I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody much more. Well, a few years ago when we were so dry and hay was going to be real short, because they bale corn stalks in some places, and some of them do it more for bedding.
Yeah.
But I was contemplating that, which I know. I talked to people that had done it. And they're like, man, we had all kinds of issues trying to feed corn stalks, and probably be better if you could grind, whatever. Thankfully, we didn't resort to doing that, but
yeah. Well, Bryson, we appreciate you writing in. We did one Q&A this episode.
Here, I'm gonna hit this one real quick because I told him we would.
All right.
This is from Nathaniel. He had messaged me on one of my YouTube videos. He said, "Hey, Bobby, I was wondering if you could answer a question about how to do all the legalities of starting a farm. I want to do so myself. I just don't know what all I need to do and what all I need to keep up with for tax time."
Okay.
So I don't know if he was talking about all the legalities. I was thinking, man, like insurance and whatnot. Like, I'm afraid to say I don't even.
Man, I pay a shitload of insurance.
Yeah. Talk to your insurance agent, and I would definitely recommend an agent that specializes, like, whether it's a Farm Bureau.
Farm Bureau is general. Farm Bureau, especially on your, my crop insurance agent is not Farm Bureau. William Lee, he's my crop insurance man. He's your LRP man and all that.
LRP, PRF, all the acronyms.
Like, talk to them. I think he's with Hudson. As far as my equipment and all that stuff, it's Farm Bureau. Farm Bureau is great. But I pay a shitload of insurance every month. My wife and I, Marcy's like, damn, what is this bill? And I'm like, I don't know, it's insurance, we got to pay it.
Yeah, and like on liability and stuff, again, talk to your.
Now see, I'm in a different thing, because like I got 2 semi trucks, and they have, the semi has terrorism insurance.
So like,
I guess if somebody, I don't know, I don't really understand all of it, but there's a degree of terrorism insurance on there. I guess if someone were to, like, I don't know if it's like they strap a bomb to my semi truck and drive it into a, I don't know how it works, but there is a form of terrorism insurance on my semis. You don't have to, I'll tell you some legalities here on row crop. You do not have to have a CDL to haul, at least in the state of Tennessee, to haul cattle. Where is he?
He didn't specify what. Now, he was on my YouTube, so I would maybe assume he's wanting to do cattle.
Yeah. Well, and if he wanted to haul, see, you could get a semi and a cattle hauling trailer, and you don't have to have a semi.
As long as I was hauling just for myself.
Yep. Well, you may can even haul, like, maybe for your neighbors. Now, your insurance is going to come into, like, most of your insurance is going to have about 150-mile radius where you're covered. You cross that, then you are no longer covered. But, like, I'm pretty sure even your truck and trailer, if you had, like, a farmhand, he'd basically be covered under your umbrella of insurance on that. But there's that. As far as the taxes go, it's basically just a matter of telling your tax agent you need to file a Schedule F.
You will need a CPA almost certainly.
Yeah. Don't try to do it yourself. Don't.
Well, and one of the nice things about farming, which a lot of people that are kind of hobby farmers, one of the, not so secret parts of that is, there's a lot of things you can write off as farm expenses.
Yeah. If you need new tires on your vehicle.
I would not just get a CPA. I would get a CPA that is familiar with ag.
Yeah.
That, talk to some other farmers in your area. Find out who they use. Maybe you already use a CPA. I'm not trying to, undercut whatever CPA you may currently use. If you're not just doing your own taxes.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. My CPA is, I won't call them out by name, but they're very familiar with ags. They're actually married to a farmer.
Yeah, my CPA that I used for years died.
Well, that was mine too.
Yeah.
Before I.
2 years? Was that 2 years ago now?
Oh man, I'm sad to say I can't tell you exactly.
Did yours get done by them before that happened? He was not done with mine.
Now here's where I'll be totally honest with you, Nathaniel. My wife handles all that shit.
Man, I wish.
I literally, when it comes to my expenses, this is not good advice. I have a legal pad, just a notepad that has all my expenses, and this you might find this funny. It's September the 11th as we sit here. I'm on like page 4 of expenses. and my income, I've got like 8 lines of income.
Well,
Now, some of my incomes are really nice because we sold a bunch of calves back.
You know what mine is? I don't have any. I'm an idiot, and I wait till the end of the year, and I want to blow my brains out because then I have to look through bank statements and I have to pull out all of my expenses.
I'm really good about. My wife's like, you can do this app or you can do it on the computer.
I had an app one time and I did it really good for like a month, and I was like, Well,
my wife in the computer program wasn't super user friendly, so like once every few months she's like, give me your notepad. And she'll go in there and
Marcy won't do it. I have to handle our taxes. I told Marcy, I'm like, please do the books. She's like, no.
My wife has the business degree, so that was always kind of our deal. I was like, look, you've got that degree. She talks to the CPA. But yeah, keep up with. It's simple as keeping up with all your expenses.
Yeah.
And of course, some stuff I'm like, I'm not sure if we can write this off. She's like, well, I'll ask the CPA.
Well, that's the stuff you make a miscellaneous tab, and you just stick it in miscellaneous costs.
Well, and this is not official advice, but like if I go to the parts store, like and buy anything, like I'm gonna write it down. Like,
oh yeah, if I gotta have tires,
Well, yeah, but tires on your pickup is a farm. But
yeah. And you can write off your mileage. If you're a farmer and you drive around and you look at your crops.
Right, and that's where you need somebody that is familiar with ag.
It's 25 cents a mile or something.
There's our tax system is way too complicated.
It is.
Entirely too complicated. There's so many damn loopholes that are totally legal, but it's like,
if you don't know about them, you're going to miss out on them.
You can depreciate like your fence, like it stuff that I'm just like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Like I'm a damn doctor and I can't figure this shit out. Literally, I'm like, not that I'm, that in and of itself makes me that much smarter than anybody else, but I'm like, that's what always frustrates me, like with my kids' math homework sometimes. Like, because I'm like, no, you need to know how to do math. Like, math is incredibly important.
Yeah.
And I'm like really good at math. And sometimes I'll look at like my 6th graders' math homework and I'll be like, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Or I was like, I can find the answer. It's not the way they want you to do it, though.
Yeah.
She's like, you can't do it that way. I'm like, well, listen here. I consider myself to be pretty successful and a pretty smart individual. Hell, I do most of the math that I have to do for drug calculations and converting pounds to kilos and all that in my head without even using a calculator.
Yeah.
And real world shit. No, I don't know how to do this stuff.
Converting pounds.
But it is still important. You still need to learn this.
Converting kilos to pounds is 2.204. Isn't that the conversion number?
Well, we don't even go to the 04. We just 2.2.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more critical for
you
y'all.
I only know that that's Olympic weightlifting uses kilos and regular uses
everything,
pounds.
Because we still record all our weights in pounds, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I know, like, America, hell yeah, baby. We ain't using no damn metric system.
Yeah.
Like, it really is nice.
Oh, today we were working. Dad's
but all our drugs are in milligrams per kilo.
Yeah.
And so I have to.
I think Marcy uses kilos.
Well, I noticed when we went to the emergency room last week, they recorded his weight in kilos.
Yeah.
They just
kilos,
which is
grams.
probably a good thing because it avoids any mistakes when they're calculating medications.
Yeah.
It's already converted.
That's what today we were working. Dad's combine, he was broke down all day. See, his prime example, he's got a 780. I don't even know what model, 2022 or 2023. And my trusty, I'm going to say this knocking on wood, but my trusty 2015 or 2014 680 and my 2008, my header's a 2008, my corn header. We hammered on, and he had to replace this gearbox section on his header. And
that's what he called me yesterday morning. they were trying to jerry rig the hell out of something.
They put JB Weld. Yeah, that's why he needed the syringes, because he was trying to squirt some JB Weld.
Which I was like, I've messed with JB Weld just a time or two in my life. That shit's thick.
Yeah, well,
he was trying to inject it through a needle.
It didn't work, so he got a turkey baster, and that they got it down in there, but it just kept eating it up. Well, a new one from John Deere was $5,500, and so they had to go to Sykeston this morning, and he found a used one for $30,000 or $3,000.
Out of a
it was out of
machine.
yeah. And so they put it on, and I had to help him because the thing weighed, the whole unit weighed probably 250 pounds, but we got it on there, and so I would like run over and shell a little bit. I mean, we literally shelled like 12 acres or something today. Well, no, we ended up shelling probably 20 acres. But that's all day.
I met one of the trucks going through town, so
yeah,
y'all at least had a truckload going.
Oh yeah, we had two, because we had one driver that he likes to go home a little early, and I think he was kind of shocked when he was sent back to Hell's Point a little later than he expected. But yeah, that was, people talk about expenses. You need to watch your expenses. You know, some people said that. It's like, how do you prepare for a sudden $3,000 expense, like this out of nowhere? And if you had gotten it from John Deere, $5,500, and actually the one from John Deere didn't even have all the parts on it. The one Dad bought, it had all the parts on it, so like it was ready to go.
Yeah,
so
it was off of just a salvage unit or something. Yeah.
Yep. So, guys, we appreciate y'all writing in. Message Bobby Lee on YouTube. If you got questions, message us on talkdirtpodcast.com. Go to the contact page. Let me pull up the jabroni here. Yeah, Bryson, thank you for your message. And then who was it? What was that guy's name?
Nathaniel.
Appreciate your message, man. All right, here we go. Hold on. All right.
Let me start off with two words. Made in America.
All right. I'm going to highlight one we've mentioned before. I'm going to kind of do like a double whammy. And maybe if you even got some... I want to mention two holsters. We talked about being prepared, preparation. I'll actually mention, I got three products tonight I'm going to mention. And they've all three been mentioned, but some people have probably not heard them. First is Alien Gear holsters. I know we've done them. They're made in USA. Those guys are awesome. I have talked to those guys. They're great guys. Alien Gear, all of it's made in USA. The stitching, every single ounce of that thing is made in USA. They're phenomenal holsters. They have if you got a gun, they got a holster for it, basically a handgun. Number two, I'm going to also mention crossbreed holsters. Have you ever used any of theirs?
I don't think I have. I'm familiar with them.
My 365, my Glocks, I use Alien Gear. On my 365, I'm actually using a crossbreed right now. And Made in USA, also phenomenal company. And then the third one is Half Face Blades, and they're karambit. I'm a big fan of their karambit. I'll carry that on me sometimes. I carry a ProTech. There's another Made in USA. I carry a ProTech switchblade every day, but every now and then I keep it on me, and then I throw my karambit. I'll conceal it on me somewhere as well. And the Half Face Blades, all these companies, they're Made in USA, and every one of them has the same values as me and you. Like, I mean, they're on the same page as we are. Half Face Blades, it's veteran owned, veteran operated. Alien Gear may be the same way. Crossbreed, I mean, all three are rock solid. I'll put my stamp of approval on Alien Gear, Crossbreed, Half Face Blades. You got anything else?
No, those are three solid ones. Which, and I don't have any other tactical knives. I've got about a dozen others, but Montana Knife Company's, in the tactical knife world now too. But
did you ever get any Amtac blades?
I didn't. Those
are great. I used to carry an Amtac, just a fixed blade on me all the time. The problem I ran into is I had my ProTech switchblade, which is actually like my pocket knife, and I'd use it for stuff. The problem I ran into is that Amtac blade was really handy because it has a holster that goes in your pocket.
Yeah. It
was a badass knife. But it was a dagger, basically. It had a really sharp point to it. And, I got bad because you could literally just reach in your pocket and draw it out. I would use it for shit that I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I know where this is going. Yeah.
And I broke the tip off of it using it as like a screwdriver. And I actually took it. I had Josh Smith from Montana Knife Company. Well, he fixed my ProTech. I broke the tip off my ProTech too, and I was at Winter Strong, and I gave it to him, and he sharpened the tip back onto my ProTech. But the Amtac one, I broke the tip off it, so I aggressively put it on a grinding wheel, and I sharpened the edge of it again. Well, then, like a dumbass, I still was doing the same thing with it, and I broke the shit out of that blade. And it's a stabbing knife. It is made literally. Amtac is made by also a guy, veteran. I mean, it's a knife for self-defense. It is not a knife for a screwdriver, and it was not intended for the use of what I was using it for, and I wrecked that blade. And so now I've still got it, but it's very blunt on the end of it. But Amtac blades is awesome if you want a fixed blade dagger, basically.
Yeah.
But I do not recommend using it as a pry bar because I've done that and it did not end well. So, yeah, in Montana Knife Company, they have tactical knives now.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's a dagger. Now the Amtac, the cool one on the Amtac blade was it had a striker on it as well. You could pull the holster out, and it had a mag striker, so you could start a fire with it. Now that one you were just looking at was a straight up dagger from Montana Knife Company.
Yeah.
So all these companies, guys, the point of these companies is that, like we said at the beginning, guys, you need to be prepared. We obviously can see there are people out there that would like to see people like me and you dead, and they would celebrate your death. So let's be prepared. As bad as things are in the farming world, there are things larger than agriculture going on in our country right now. So we need to be prepared for whatever happens. And I urge you to for your family and for society, that you get prepared, get strong, get prepared.
Just be vigilant. I mean, you're not being a psychopath.
No. Yeah.
I mean, the shit happens. You see it on TV, you think it's not that close to you because, it happened in Utah or it happened in North Carolina and you're in Tennessee or you're wherever. I don't know. Sometimes I battle with that too. I'm like, man, am I like the psychopath guy that's No.
No.
You're being careful. It's like wearing a seatbelt. Like, I'm going to put on my seatbelt when I leave here in a minute. It's not because I really think I'm going to be in an accident.
But it's just being prepared.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. No, guys, do that. And also, we need you to leave us 5 stars on Apple. Need you to leave us 5 stars on Spotify. Leave us some good comments on all of the platforms, YouTube. Hit the like button. Leave us good comments to outweigh all the morons. And hey, if you see some morons, feel free to tell them that they're morons or let them know what you think. Also, what else they need to do?
Check out agzaga.com. Discount code TALKDIRT20. $20 off that $50 minimum order and free shipping. Any of the good stuff you want. I just got a box in from them. I think I told y'all last week I'd made an order, gotten that in.
Nice.
Got a variety of good stuff. Some electric fencing, some plies, some... actually had to do some repairs on one of my Flexzilla hoses. They had all the stuff I needed. I've got a light new hose for like another $5. The bale net wrap. Baling season's not over yet. I'm planning on cutting some hay this weekend. If you're getting to the end of the season, you need a couple more rolls of net wrap. They'll send you one roll. Free shipping and $20 off that discount code. Do it.
Yep. And then go to tractormat.com. Use the code TALKDIRT, all caps, all one word. That's it. It isn't 15. It's just Talk Dirt, correct?
Yeah, just
okay.
Talk Dirt.
Yeah, Talk Dirt. I get confused between AgZag and Tractor Map, but go on there, use that code. Guys, use the code. Do it. Like I said, it helps us. You can get made in USA, really awesome mats. I've got mine in my little 5090 tractor, and yeah, we'll soon have one in my 680 combine. So, guys, thank you. And I want to end with that quote again. May you live so boldly that people celebrate your death. I think that's a very good way to end this. So, guys, stay vigilant, and we will catch you next week.
Yep. Be right here.